Center in Providence, Rhode Island. NCAA basketball this afternoon on CBS. The first meeting ever between the UNLV Runnin' Rebels and the Friars of Providence College. We have two of last year's Final Four teams hooking up this afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Billy Packer. UNLV, Bill, comes way across the country, and they come with a 13-1 record. Lost a lot last year, but have some talent back.
Well, they're an amazing club, and Jerry Tarkanian does this year after year because he brings in a lot of transfers. He's got two-year players, and he only gets the use of them 2 years. He had to rebuild this club completely with the exception of Patio and Bass Knight, but he's the master at putting together a club in a hurry.
What's your impression thus far of Providence College? Now, they come off a big win over Georgetown the other night.
Well, of course, they had some big losses also, plus a coaching change, and that always is very difficult to wrap together a team in a hurry. Gordy Chiesa has done a good job. Of course, he was involved with the program last year. I think it's a team that's underachieving, and I think it's a team that is going to play a lot better today than maybe even UNLV expects.
Could be a high-scoring game. We've got PC and UNLV. What are the keys? Well, we asked about that.
The strengths of a basketball team versus UNLV are our three-point shooting, our pressure defense, and good ball movement.
Their press is more of a problem just because they press every day. They've been pressing since October 15th. You know, a team that puts a press in just to play against us isn't going to press real well, and we can handle that kind of press pretty good. But when you see a team that presses every day in every game, well, then you have to work extra hard on it, and that's what we did.
So it's the Runnin' Rebels of UNLV against Providence College coming up right after this. Analysis sought out the warmth of the Providence Civic Center. It got down to 5 below night before last. It's been chilly here in the Northeast. Jerry Tarkanian's team came out of the California sunshine to make the cross-country trip, and here's the group he will start in this 15th game of the year. Jarvis Basnight, the senior, and one forward, joined by Gerald Patio, and the other senior is Richard Robinson at center, and in the backcourt for UNLV, Boobie James, a freshman, and Stacy Augman, also a freshman. There's Gordon Chiesa, now in his first year as the head coach of Providence, replacing Rick Pitino, and he will start. Carlton Screen and Darrell Wright, along with Abdul Shamsuddin, Delray Brooks, the senior, and the other backcourt man, a freshman, Eric Murdoch, but really, Billy, starting 3 guards.
He really is starting 3 guards. I talked to Gordy about this yesterday, and it's a matter of who's going to match up with who first. In the case of UNLV, fortunately for them, Stacy Augman could actually go in the backcourt, so Vegas has a big height advantage in regard to the backcourt players.
Robinson and Shamsuddin will tip it off. Tim Higgins throws it up, and Providence controls Eric Murdoch. Carlton Screen across the timeline, number 11.
It's Patio going to take Murdoch. Patio really quick on his feet, and there's that wingspan.
First turnover of the game, 3-on-2. Nice ball, throw it away.
Yesterday, the first drill UNLV worked on was 2-on-1 fast break. Jerry Tarkanian said we can't ever score on that play unless there's no defender there. Well, he was right to his word.
They have more trouble with 2-on-1 and 3-on-1 than anything else. Here's Screen, penetrating, pushes off, out to Shamsuddin. Doesn't score much and didn't that.
Well, you can expect Dean in the game for a couple of minutes, and then you'll see Steve Wright come in and probably take his place. Providence goes a little zone.
Boobie James out on the point.
2-3 zone, and this is a dangerous thing to play with Patio on the floor because he's going to look to post up for that three-pointer.
Robinson traveled. Providence is playing without one of its starters. Marty Conlon, a sophomore 6'10 starter, left the squad 2 hours before the Georgetown game Wednesday night.
Well, I talk about underachieving, and I mean this not in regard to effort on the part of this ball club, but when you figure what they had back, Conlon, you'd expect it at this time of year to be an integral part of this club, so that hurts him a great deal.
That foul on Jarvis Basnight, shooting foul.
One of the things that we see already in regard to this 3-guard lineup is that Providence guards are quicker with the ball than the Vegas defender, which means they ought to be able to penetrate a little bit. They're going to have a hard time passing, however, against Vegas because of the wingspan of the guys like Patio, 6'7", playing in the backcourt.
Now, this is where Jerry Tarkanian does not want to see Providence much.
Exactly. Great statement he made yesterday in practice when he's talking about. Said, we don't even have a guy on our team shoots 79%. Their whole club shoots 79%. It wasn't totally accurate, but he made a good point there.
And among these men, Darrell Wright is hitting 83% for the season from the free throw line. This is just an outstanding free throw shooting team.
Second in the nation. When you get up there around 80% as a club, you are really stroking it. Here's the full court press. 1-2-1-1.
Baz Knight helps out. During a 2-hour practice yesterday, UNLV worked a lot on the pressure. That shot short from 3.
Great hands.
Patio lays it off the glass and in. We're tied at 2.
Now you notice the way Vegas attacks the press. They put their guards down court and let their big man bring it up. That allows Patio to post up for that jumper.
Shamsuddin and Robinson having at each other. And that's off one of the UNLV players. It'll be inbounded by Providence.
Shamsuddin, Vern, is going to have to realize that Screen is able to penetrate. He's going to have to find a passing lane by getting open. He's just standing still when his men penetrate.
There's Shamsuddin. Took the fake when he didn't need to, and somehow gets it in. His high point total per game for the year is 2, so he's equaled that. 3 on 2. 10-point go.
Stacey Augmon over the back. And there again, you see attacking that press. It's not a matter of just trying to beat the press. They're trying to score against it. So by putting Boobie James down court and Patio down court, if you throw by the press, you have your shooters in position to score, which is just the opposite of the way most teams.
That's the second team foul on UNLV. First foul on Stacey Augmon. 2-2. 18 minutes to go first half. Shamsuddin comes down with a rebound. Travel.
Well, if I was Jerry Tarkanian, I'd be a little bit nervous about the fact that Screen is going right by that initial defender.
Stolen. Eric Murdoch, too much for the shot. And once again, the Rebels on the run.
Augmon straight on that break.
Foul is on Abdul Shamsuddin.
6'8", took it right to the hoop.
And here comes the substitution Billy talked about. Steve Wright getting ready to enter the game, and he will replace Abdul Shamsuddin. Gordon Chiesa also is going to send in Quentin Burton, sophomore from Columbia, Maryland, number 15. So Murdoch is out, and Shamsuddin will go to the bench.
And it makes the club a little bit bigger and probably matches up a little better defensively. You know, Vern, when you get two clubs like this at this time of the season, a Big East team and a PCAA team, it's not only a game between the two teams, but the two leagues. And come March the 10th, when they're selecting the NCAA tournament field, if you were a Vegas and you beat a Big East team on their floor, that really helps a club like Cal State Santa Barbara that beat Vegas on their floor. So this game has big ramifications come March.
There really is a domino theory in college basketball then. Arrow right for 3. Short. 4-2 Providence, still in the lead after Augmon misfired.
Augmon, an inside player, not going to look for that 3.
Patio, Baz Knight can't hang on. Here comes Providence on the break. Wright will take it all the way.
Smart play by James not to go in there for that intentional foul.
Pressure again. They find the man in midcourt. Patio puts it up for 3. Long rebound. Patio for 2. Another long rebound. Providence ball.
That's out of Patio's range. By that I mean he's too close.
That's right. Carlton screen. He's been penetrating. See, oh, nice pass underneath. And Quentin Burton taken down by Gerald Patio. UNLV hitting for the season 50%, but only 1 of 6 on the start from the field. And Providence has hit 2 of its first 6.
Well, when you think back at Gerald Patio, of course, an outstanding ball player, but last year in the Final Four, he just could not get that stroke going from the outside. Had actually a very poor game against Indiana, which may have cost UNLV an opportunity to win it all.
Eric Murdoch back in the lineup, takes that jumper and hits it. He just replaced Darrell Wright. Almost makes the steal. Here comes UNLV, leading 8-2 on an early run. Foul, Burton.
Team is well drilled on the press. Of course, with Rich Pitino, they were into that press last year, so Gordy did not have to do a lot to get these guys thinking about a lot of hard work and full court activity.
Of course, Pitino went to the Knicks late in the summer, and so Gordon Chiesa, who had been his assistant for 2 years, didn't get the full responsibility until almost the middle of August.
I remember last year when Rick Pitino's son passed away right during tournament time, and Gordy's the guy that really prepared that club for tournaments. So he's had head coaching experience down at Manhattan at St. Thomas Aquinas, so he's been around.
Worked the perimeter. Austin with the shot.
And I think right now Vegas is finding a team that's just as quick as they are, and they don't see that very often.
And that, do you think, is surprising them?
I really do. I think that they're trying to catch their second wind a little bit right now.
Another substitution is Burton sits down. Screen to Murdoch in the backcourt now. Darrell Wright back in the lineup with Steve Wright and Delray Brooks from Providence.
In the zone.
Ruby Williams, Augman, Baz Knight, Patio, and Robinson the starting line. And that's for three, and it's, again, no good. Off the top of the glass, hit the score of the time clock.
Vern, what's open against this zone is the foul line area. And what UNLV is trying to do is surround the zone and play guys on the baseline. They're going to have to get somebody up on the foul line for an easy passing lane.
Chris Watts into the lineup, a 6'3 freshman guard. He replaces Delray Brooks from Providence.
Good double screen out front.
Watts, beautiful on his right, great bounce pass. Oh, what a dandy pass that was. And it's 10-2 Providence.
Did you say could there be some surprises?
Wow. From the corner. Patio hits it.
Well, that's one of the things. If you're a three-point shooter, you've got to keep stroking it up there. Mike Grieswick from Temple the other night couldn't buy a shot against LaSalle. Kept shooting and finally hit him.
Providence counters. Chris Watts at the other end. And it's a 12-4 margin with 15:25 to go first half. 13-4.
Again, Bass Knight and Robinson back there trying to hit one of the guards up front.
Screen tries to get the rebound. Robinson puts back in. No, it's Baz Knight, beg your pardon.
And what's difficult when you're spread out like that on the press, no block out opportunity on a missed shot. Good fake by Watts.
Watts again. Little energy off the bench. Patio can't hang on. Offensive foul.
Excellent recovery by Wright, who was kind of surprised the ball was thrown over his head. Jerry Tarkanian reaching a little bit, but I thought that was a good call.
A surprising run by the Friars of Providence, and they're up by 9.
The game has changed. We see the 4 defenders on the press, perfectly executed for Providence. Another man ready to fill here. In the old days, you were never told to throw a pass all the way across court. But watch how this opens up the shooter right here for UNLV. Perfectly passed all the way across court. Patio puts it up, has the 3. The fact that he didn't hit it is immaterial. Excellent execution by UNLV, and as I said, the game changes each and every year. Now you see guys throwing the ball across court almost at whim.
We've got 5 minutes and 6 seconds played thus far. Turnovers so far, UNLV 5 and Providence 2. Add a correction on the score. It is a 14-6 Providence lead now, 14-6. Full court pressure for UNLV. Darrell Wright.
Pass got to have a little more mustard on it. Good positioning by Steve Wright.
Had a chance for 3, misses on the layup.
He just overpowered Richard Robinson down inside to get that position. Excellent feeding technique on the bounce pass.
That's the first foul on Robinson, 15th foul. Steve Wright goes to the line, and we mentioned how good, how well this team shoots free throws. He's only a 58% shooter, so there is one weak link in the chain, I suppose.
And doesn't go to the line often. Has never taken a three-point shot either. It's always good to know your limitations. There's Butler at 83%. It used to be a day when a guy was in the top 10 in college foul shooting individually when he shot 83%.
Right. And now as a team, Providence at 79%. Wright hits 1 of 2. Now it's a 9-point margin, 15-6. 14:44 to go. And substitutions now for UNLV. Keith James comes into the lineup, and Clint Rawson, numbers 25 and 22. Robinson goes out.
There's that 1-2, 1-1 full court press.
Anthony Todd also comes into the lineup. Here is Keith James, transfer from South Carolina. Patio.
Might have got by with a walk.
I thought he did. Yeah.
Didn't quite have the ball in his hands. But again, you see UNLV throwing right over the top of the press. And with the small lineup that's now on the floor for Providence, it's not too tough to do.
Substitution for the Flyers. Carlton Screen back in. And Chris Watts, who supplied a lot of energy while he was in there, goes to the bench. Quentin Burton will also come back in. And Abdul Shamsuddin. So Chiesa changes his lineup to match Jerry Tarkanian.
One of the things that Gordy talked about yesterday, in order to press the way he wants to, you not only have to have depth, but you have to have quality depth. And he feels he can take this team 9 deep, despite the loss of Marty Conlon. You see that he's very comfortable at substituting all types of patterns here.
Those of you not familiar with the Providence team, Marty Conlon, the 6'10 sophomore starter, and left the squad Wednesday afternoon just before they played Providence. Gordon Chiesa said yes, he would be welcome back. Didn't know if he'd come back. Delray Brooks. Boy, he had a marvelous night against Georgetown. He was 28 points in that game and hit this one.
When you have the threat of the three-pointer, it's good to use that pump fake.
Anthony Todd in the backcourt. And there again, that example you used, the scorer's down for it. Here's Carlton Screen off the steal.
I think Jerry Tarkanian, he and I talked about this morning, is going to have some problems if Todd is handling the ball in the backcourt other than Bass Knight, because he just doesn't make the decisions that Bass Knight makes.
UNLV may surprise some of you, but they top the country in win percentage in the last 6 years, followed by Carolina, Georgetown, Memphis State, Oklahoma, and John Chaney's Temple team.
John Chaney and Jerry Tarkanian ranked, of course, 1-2 as individual coaches, too, that are active in winning percentage.
Baz Knight. That's how you hit 70%.
Great feed and a great no call by the official there, just letting the solid defense and offense go with the flow.
Baz Knight with 4. It's a 17-8 score.
Oh, there's an offensive foul on Screen. We'll see this. I said this was a good no call. Offense was up in the air. Defense had a pretty good shot. Didn't interfere with the play at all and just let it go on.
And the last foul, as Billy said, on Carlton Screen.
UNLV having a hard time getting that ball in bounds. And you see Jerry Tarkanian moving Todd out of there and letting Bass Knight handle it.
Gets it in to Rawson, Clint Rawson. Junior college transfer from Utah. Patio for 3. Got it. Coming in, he hit 52 of 126, 41% from three-point range. 17-11 now at the 13-20 mark.
There's Vegas in there. Tough man-to-man defense that they always play so well.
Patio guarding Brooks. Murdoch. Shamsuddin foul. He'll go to the line. Second foul on Steve Wright. Nope. Beg your pardon. Baz Knight.
It's not often that you see people beating Vegas defenders with the dribble, the way Providence is doing it today. But Murdoch's been good at it. Screen's been good at it. And it really sets up 2-on-1s on the inside. We saw them playing yesterday at practice foul shooting, and Gordy has this game designed called Swish. And what you have to do is you match up with one of your teammates and you shoot, but the only fouls that count are the ones that absolutely swish. A pretty good idea because it really helps concentration.
First 1 to 20 wins. You can't hit the net at the rim. There's another steal. Murdoch, Delray Brooks, quickly underneath the Shamsuddin. Nice move.
Second one today with a left-hander. Good steal by Screen.
Brooks for 3.
And again, that was that pass by Todd. He throws lazy passes.
21-11. Baz Knight. Patio bumps twice. Off balance. Back to Rawson. Baz Knight with a follow.
Baz Knight really showing some maturity out here, holding this club together. But Providence relentless on the attack.
Shamsuddin. Over the top, Darrell Wright knew it right away. Well, you've seen Jarvis Baz Knight, and he is leading the country in field goal percentage, 72%. Von Luton and Robert Morris is next. Grayer, J.R. Reed, Eric Lechner. Baz Knight leads them all. 21-13. Time has been called.
Vern, one of the keys that you see out here, now there's a good passer in Baz Knight, but what happens surrounding by the Providence defenders, and when this pass tries to come into the middle, watch how Carlton's screen attacks. Good solid play from behind creates the turnover.
8 turnovers thus far for UNLV and only 3 for Providence. Back to live action. Rawson barely keeps it in play. Baz Knight in the corner. 21-13, 12-minute mark in the first half. Vern Lundquist along with Billy Packer.
This may sound crazy, but what Providence is doing right now is forcing UNLV to play faster than they want to.
That does sound
That
crazy.
really is crazy, but it's true.
There are coaches around the country who don't believe that.
Well, you know, you hear about the running rebels, but what has happened here, Providence has got them to the point that when they get in their half-court offense, they're trying to rush things too much instead of settling down, seeing where the holes are.
9th turnover now for UNLV. Carlton screen, Shamsuddin. They had Brooks down at the post. He comes out and pops a three-pointer and doesn't hit it.
Pretty good defense by Patio against the 3 that time.
Keith James, who is Booby James' older brother, transferred from South Carolina, has the ball now. Underneath, turnaround Anthony Todd. That's
It's
good.
Open all day long, right down the gut against that 2-3, particularly with 2 small men at the top of the foul.
11-point lead has been cut to 6. Darrell Wright. Foul on Anthony Todd.
Mr. Todd's going to have to move his feet, not his hands. Didn't get over there in position.
Providence getting ready to substitute again. Steve Wright will come back into the lineup, and Abdul Shamsuddin goes to the bench.
You know, if you're a member of this Providence club, you got to like the situation. You know, they don't really have a star system with the exception of Delray Brooks, and all these kids get a chance to be part of the program.
Well, as Billy said, Gordon Chiesa says even without Conlon, we can go to 9. UNLV goes to about 8.
He reminds me of a young Louis Carnesecca. I mean, they're like gym rats. If they weren't coaching in the Big East, they'd be coaching at the CYO somewhere. You know, they just love the game, like to be around it, have a lot of enthusiasm.
Chiesa's 37 years old. He had been the coach at Manhattan. Substitution again.
And he was the MAC Coach of the Year down at Manhattan.
Right.
You know, he knew that he was going to get a limited talent there and came up and became the assistant coach for Rick Pitino and, of course, got his shot last summer.
Right.
So you just might as well put those up on the scoreboard when they go to the foul line.
8-point lead again, 23-15, 11:09 to go first half. Keith James, Rawson makes it up.
Wrong.
Gets the tip.
That ball was on the cylinder.
Baz Knight gets credit for it, and that's 8 points for Jarvis Baz Knight. There's a steal, and Brooks may have reached in and fouled. Yep.
Gonna have to argue with that one. He was going for the ball and got all ball. It just so happened Ogden fell over the top of it. Gordy there pretending he agreed with it.
That'll send Stacey Augmon to the line, the freshman out of Pasadena, 6'7", 190-pounder. Quentin Burton back into the lineup for Providence now. And Cal Foster, who had just come in, goes to the bench.
Vegas only a 67% free throw shooting team.
Gets the first, he'll have a chance to shoot the second. First point for Augmon in the lineup.
And he's only shooting 60%.
Gets them both, 23-19. It's a 4-point margin now. So UNLV on a little bit of a run, but Baz Knight with the foul. That's his third.
Now there's good teaching. Delray Brooks gets caught in a 2-man trap and just breaks it.
We are in the Civic Center in Providence, Rhode Island. First meeting ever between UNLV of the PCAA and Providence College out of the Big East. Vern Lundquist and Billy Packer. This rematch of 2 of last year's Final Four teams. A 17-6 lead at one point for Providence has been cut now to 23-19, almost midway through the first half.
Vern, am I seeing something? Or was Delray Brooks always taped up in this game? With that arm? With that
I hadn't
on his
noticed
shoulder?
that.
I think
Oh, he was. He came
had
in with it.
That's the first time I noticed it. really observant here.
Heath James, patio. Looks underneath for Todd. Short with that one. Osborne, short with that. Steve Wright comes down with it for PC. Darrell Wright. Good. Carlton screen.
Well, there's a dangerous pass. Bounce pass under the other team's basket.
Now they find Ogden. He does a little behind the back move. Feeds it strong to Patio.
Stacey Ogden can play almost every position on the floor. Guard, center, forward, handles the ball very well.
Patio with 9 points leads the Runnin' Rebels.
Wright and Todd battling for inside position.
Screen tries the entry pass, knocked away by Todd. Carlton screen, another foul. Watch Stacey Ogden now with a behind-the-back dribble.
Well, this is really not something fancy. That was a very well-executed play. You know, we talked about Pete Maravich passing away last week, and there is part of the Pete Maravich tradition that's been handed down where kids now are not considered hot dogs when they put the ball behind the back. That was a great dribble.
Now more substitutions off the bench. Booby James comes back in, and he replaces Clint Rawson.
One of the things, Vern, that really helps a great pressing team is to be a good free throw shooting team, because the best time to set up your press is after a made free throw. In the case of Vegas, they're a good pressing team too, but they don't make free throws, so they can't set up as well. Big advantage for Gordy Chiesa over Jerry Tarkanian in that area.
Let's check Tarkanian's lineup now. He's got Heath James and Booby James, the two brothers out of Baltimore Dunbar High School in the lineup, along with Anthony Todd, Gerald Patio, and Stacey Ogden. So Baz Knight is benched now with 3 fouls. And for Providence, screen, Brooks, and Burton, along with Eric Murdoch and Steve Wright.
Now there's an example. You know, you make the free throw, you can set up your press.
25-22, Brooks.
Second time today that Delray Brooks beat Patio with the dribble going left on the baseline.
Bring you up to date on what's happened if you just tuned in. Baz Knight is on the bench with 3 fouls, and he has 8 points. Patio just picked up his 3rd foul. He's got 9 points. Darrell Wright and Shamsuddin have 6 points each, and for Shamsuddin, that is a real surprise.
Now, Delray's having a great year, and when you take in consideration the loss to Utah and the loss to Connecticut, in those games, he was 1 for 12 against Utah, 0 for 5 from the three-point line against Connecticut, 1 for 9, and 0 for 7 from the three-point line. Other than that, he's had a great, great season.
Now, how does this change Jerry Tarkanian's processes? He's got Baz Knight and Patio on the bench with 3.
It really hurts him a great deal because that's his maturity on this ball club. 2 fellas that have been through the wars. They handle the ball very well, and I think this is going to be a period of time where Providence has a chance to make a little hay.
Brooks, who hits 92% of his free throws, missed 1 out of 2.
The points could come from Stacey Ogden on the inside if they'll get him the ball. Here he is.
For 3. Burton, good rebound. 26-22, Brooks for 3. No.
Good block by James.
Delray Brooks hit 7 3-pointers in the win over Georgetown the other night. Booby James top of the key now.
Ogden ought to move up right in front of Wright, and he'll get the ball and be able to score.
Got Delray Brooks fronting on him down in the low post.
They're just screening for the three-point play.
And the loose ball goes Providence's way. Burton, baseline jumper. Steve Wright can't hold on. Foul in the backcourt on Steve Wright. That's his 2nd.
Great hustle right out here now.
Basketball today and football tomorrow. The NFC Championship live on CBS. Our coverage begins at 12 o'clock Eastern Time. The Minnesota Vikings against the Washington Redskins. Home field disadvantage. All 3 teams with the advantage lost in the playoffs. In the NFC, New Orleans, San Francisco, and Chicago. How would you like to do a Quinella, huh? The Minnesota Twins and the Minnesota Vikings. Make that, place that one back in February a year ago.
I'd say if they get in the Super Bowl, they'll sell out that dome up there for people to watch it on the big screen. What do you think about that?
There's the thought. 55,000 in the dome.
Right, with those pals.
While the game's in San Diego.
Right.
Yeah. Are they going to get in there?
I don't know.
You don't talk
It's
football.
a little over my head after that New Orleans bunch got knocked out.
Stacy
What do you think about those guys from San Francisco probably sitting home saying, what do you mean we're not playing?
That's right. 8:20 to go first half. A 2-point margin now. Whoops.
Made free throw, sets up the press.
Delray Brooks, Harris by Boobie James. Chris Watts back in the lineup. James work on defense, and his brother, or rather Anthony Todd, almost.
Here's a mismatch. Todd on screen. Screen could beat him.
Now Todd tries to get back, and there goes screen. Brooks, 3 points. Boy, he hit 6 in a row 2 hours before the game out here this afternoon. Shamsuddin for 2 more. And so of all people, Shamsuddin is having a career game.
That's his 3rd tough inside shot of the day. This was all set up by the fact that Todd got mismatched up with screen, allowed him to penetrate. And there's Shamsuddin putting in another one of those sweeping left-handed shots.
Shamsuddin out of Staten Island, New York, missed the first 8 games of this year because of a hairline fracture in an ankle. But he's never been a scoring threat. He hasn't played all that much basketball.
He came on last year, averaged about 10 minutes a game with that revolving door front line that Rich Pitino had. But this is a giant lift for Gordy Chiesa today.
And just a quick correction, that graphic said 10.5 points per game. That's incorrect. It's 1.5 points per game is his average. Time has been called.
What we have today is Providence is playing a basic 2-3 zone with 3 men across the back line. The hole in this zone is right here. Stacey Augmon is going to have to take a position in this area, forcing Providence to come on up. If you'll find out, if Vegas will get into the center, they're going to find themselves having a lot of easy shots in there.
Back to live action here at the Civic Center in Providence. Running Rebels inbound. Rawson gets it from Richard Robinson, who has replaced Todd. Check the lineup now. Boobie James tries the alley-oop. I don't know if that's what he really had in mind. Rawson pumps once, it's stolen, but a foul called. I believe, or is it? No, it's out of bounds.
It was a good strip that time by Carlton Screen. I don't know of any 2 teams that strip the ball any better than Providence and Georgetown. They're just masters at it.
Not a surprise that UNLV has a rebounding edge, 20-13. Providence has been out-rebounded by 6 per game this year.
They could have an even bigger rebounding edge if they slow down on offense a little bit to get in position to rebound.
There's another steal. And a foul on Clint Rawson, the junior out of Nevada, Las Vegas, by way of Dixie Junior College in Utah.
Vern, you do a lot of football, and I imagine, not having ever broadcast a football game, when those scouts are up in the press box, they often can see the field for the passing routes, you know, what the defensive backfield's doing. Basketball is exactly the same, and I think a lot of times coaches should be up, at least one guy up in the stands, so you could see that opening that we're getting a chance to watch here on television, because floor level sometimes doesn't give you the hole.
Why isn't it done more? Any idea?
I don't know. I often thought that a basketball coach with 3 assistants could have one sitting up high and get a much better perspective, particularly when you're playing against teams that play a lot of zone. Because you'll find the openings, and when you start hitting those seams, it's all over for that zone.
Back to a 7-point edge now for Providence, 31-24, 7:24 to go first half. Stacey Augmon, freshman out of Pasadena. Boobie James. Delray Brooks looking for the steal. Good. Chiesa urging him on the bench. Crowd appreciates it.
There's 20 seconds to go. There's no need to hurry. Vegas is forcing it with a great shot.
Sure was, and Augmon will have a chance to make it a 3-point play. This is the largest crowd ever to see a basketball game here. 13,100 this afternoon. They have drawn over 2 million people here. in their 16th season, and the school enrollment is only 3,700, and the population of Providence 165, a testament to the devotion these people have for basketball.
Of course, Providence has been blessed with great basketball. Joe Mulaney's outstanding teams, and Dave Gavitt came in here with some great teams. Had Gary Williams, of course, Rick Pitino. And the town blessed with really quality games.
I want you to think about this, but who would be on your all-time Providence team? And then if you have time, you can give us your all-time Providence second team.
No, that was the all-time Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's right. That was 2 weeks ago.
Well, I'll tell you what I am going to do before this day's over. I think that Providence has had the greatest group collection of backcourt players of any team in the United States.
I would rather expect that one of them, Ernie De Gregorio, is here today. Still living in the Providence area.
You start ripping off names like Billy Donovan and Joey Hassett, Johnny Egan, Kevin Staken, Lenny Wilkins, Vinnie Ernst, Jimmy Walker.
That's what I was thinking about. Another foul on UNLV.
President, what is the mayor of Boston, Ray Flynn? He's a former great backcourt player. Incredible collection of backcourt.
That's 3 fouls on Richard Robinson, so a trio of players with 3 fouls now for the Running Rebels. And Carlton Screen goes over to the bench for the Providence Friars.
You know, you get the feeling, or I do anyway, that Providence has got a big lead. Because UNLV really has not played well yet.
And yet the lead is only 5.
Yeah.
Darrell Wright back at the line to shoot the second. 11 of 16 from the free throw line now in the first half. 16 free throws. Here's Booby James. That's off the mark. Rebound, quick outlet pass, Darrell Wright, and misfires to Delray Brooks.
And there's a case where the overhand baseball pass, and this goes back to fundamentals, was thrown with a curveball technique. He got the wrist into it instead of coming straight overhand with a fastball, and the ball just curved away from Delray Brooks.
Down and low. 5-point margin, 32-27, 6:21 to go first half.
Matching up a little bit in the zone now, not playing the straight 2-3.
Rawson dishes in the corner for three-pointer, and again it's long. Over the back. Foul on Robinson, that's his 4th.
Just no inside game at all. No inside passing attack by UNLV, trying to do everything on the perimeter.
Coming up next Saturday, Pitt versus Oklahoma or Kentucky versus LSU at 2 o'clock Eastern. That is the first of a doubleheader for you on CBS. And then our second game, Purdue against Louisville. That's at 4 o'clock Eastern time. All of that next Saturday on CBS.
There are 6 teams, 3 games, and all 6 of those clubs. Right now, you'd have to say, you know, maybe any one of that 6 could win a national championship. What Dale Brown's team is coming on strong.
Quite true.
Getting great play out of Jose Vargas, strong backcourt. Kentucky, we know what they can do. Purdue may be playing as good as anybody in the country right now. Louisville having a hot day today. Pitt and Oklahoma. I mean, there's no dogs in that group.
Who scheduled that? Do you have something to do with that?
I'm not going to take any credit, just good basketball.
Murdoch gets the bounce. 18 free throws attempted in the first half. And again, as Billy said, Jerry Tarkanian yesterday said, guys, we don't want them on the line. And that's exactly where they are.
Boy, it's exciting every time Todd takes the ball out of bounds. You have no idea where he's thrown it. Again, look at Vegas not getting any inside attack. Just doing everything from the perimeter.
Got Augman and Todd down low. There's Todd. Puts it up.
Get the ball inside.
Just an example of patience.
Yep.
34-29, 5:33 to go first half. Jarvis Basnight, Gerald Patio for UNLV on the bench for 3 apiece. 3 fouls. Oh, great block. Augman. Booby James all the way. Foul. Unnecessary foul.
I think that Booby James's quick speed with that dribble shocked Burton. I don't think he felt that he could get away from him.
That is Keith James. His brother Booby will go to the line, but in the meantime, time has been called. A 3-point edge for Providence. I'm at the half. Tim Brandt will join us, but first let's get a preview, Tim.
All right, Vern, coming up in our college basketball report, we'll get you up to date on all the scores and highlights of the top teams throughout the country. We'll also check on Gordy Chiesa and see how he's holding up under the pressure of his new job here at Providence. And we'll have an NFL preview. That's all coming up in just a couple of minutes. Vern?
Okay, Tim, 34-31. And Booby James will be at the line now for the Running Rebels. Gordy Chiesa's team has led throughout. They jumped out to a 10-2 lead. Led by as many as 11 at 17-6. And it's now down to 2, 34-32.
You notice Jerry Tarkanian did not press after that made free throw. He's had enough of this pace of this game.
Another foul. This one on Clint Rawson.
And yesterday in the practice session, UNLV worked about 70% of the time on defense. And one of the key things Jerry Tarkanian said, we want to use our hands, but we don't want to touch them with them. A lot of activity because he didn't want them on the foul line, but they're getting there.
And two players on the bench, his two stars, Tarkanian's Patio and Basnight with 3 fouls of each. And the center, Richard Robinson, is down with 4. 14 of 19 from the line now.
Timmy Gigrich, outstanding assistant coach, former head coach at the University of Pittsburgh, pre-Big East days. One of the real good teachers in the game.
5 years as head coach there. And both free throws are good. That's 20 free throws attempted now in the first half, 36-32. Rawson for 3 in the corner. Short. They've only hit 1 3-pointer thus far. 1 of 8 from 3-point range.
Not surprising because they're hurrying so much in their half-court offense. They're just not set to take the shot.
4:50 to go, first half. Screen for 3. Got it. 7 points for Carlton Screen. Stacey Augman.
You know, you wonder if Gordy Chiesa has said, hey, if they're not going inside, there's a play inside, available, good block by Pitt. If they're not going to go inside, extend that defense outside for the perimeter because they're really guarding the 3-point play.
Screen loses it. It goes Providence way. Murdoch, nice entry pass to Steve Wright. No. And Rawson comes out of it for the Rebels.
Good.
Augman for 2.
Rawson is strong, built like a fullback.
39-34. Georgia Tech leads NC State in the first half, and Illinois on top of Wisconsin.
I saw this Vegas team beat Wisconsin and had them back down something like 41-9 at one point. And then you see Wisconsin turn around and beat Indiana and Bloomington. I mean, this is a crazy season.
It sure is. How many teams realistically right now have a chance at the national championship? 10? 12?
No, I think you're up a lot higher than that.
Really?
I really do.
Anthony Todd, guarded by Steve Wright. 3:40 to go in the first half. 39-34. Been a good ball game.
Good double team.
There's a steal, 2-on-1. Screen. Murdoch. Murdoch puts it up nice and soft.
Murdoch rather unheralded when he came into this program. He was a spring signee, which means that a lot of people weren't looking at him early.
11 turnovers for the Runner Rebels. That one won't fall. Watch the double team and the resulting steal.
Now, even though they're playing the zone, they're playing aggressive double teams on the corners. Good backcourt play, screen and Murdoch back and forth. Beautiful soft touch on that fast break. That's a tough shot to make, particularly if you don't use the board.
Been a long day thus far for Jerry Tarkanian and multiple substitutions now for Providence. So we'll check the lineup again. Delray Brooks back in along with Quentin Burton, Chris Watts, Eric Murdoch, and Abdul Shamsuddin. That's the quintet on the floor for Providence. At the line, Stacey Augman gets the first. Booby James and Clint Rawson are also in.
What must be a nightmare for a play-by-play man is to do Providence Georgetown. All you're doing is giving the lineup.
It's like a revolving door.
Yeah.
That's right. Easier to identify who's on the bench. 41-36, 3:10 to go in the half. Augman. That's his second.
And you talk about an unnecessary foul. You're going out almost 35 feet from the basket to foul Delray Brooks, who you don't want on the line. All you're trying to do is contain him.
This will be the 21st free throw attempted in the first half by Providence. They've made 15, 75%, just below their average.
Well, I'll tell you something about this ball club. When they shoot 16 or less free throws, they lose. When they shoot 30 or more, they win. And it looks like they're on target to be shooting over 30 free throws today.
Delray Brooks, 4th in the country in free throw percentage, right at 93%. And gets them both.
And puts them back in a perfect press position.
Brooks with 5 points. Been kind of a quiet presence here in the first half. 43-36 over 3 minutes.
Double pump it again. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
And do they get Augman for the foul?
No, I think he just knocked it out of bounds.
Right. Eric Murdoch in the backcourt, guarded by Clint Rossum.
There's the jump out switch.
Shams and Dean gets his own follow.
Makes a hook shot from the floor.
Why
That's
not?
about the only thing he hasn't done today offensively.
Possession arrow goes UNLV's way on the hell ball, so the Rebels will inbound.
And there's the little matchup press.
Boobie James. Nice dish to his brother Keith James.
They ought to know where each other standing, right? Played together in high school.
And their older brother Freddie James played for UNLV.
Right, the spoon.
Off the knee of Chris Watts. Back to Delray Brooks. Oops, reach-in foul. Got him on the wrist. Coming up next Sunday at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, Georgetown, Syracuse, Perry McDonald, Ronnie Cycli. Big East basketball. That ought to be a good one.
It sure will be a great ball game. Saw the Georgetown Pitt game. Was surprised to see Georgetown come in here and lose, but not after watching this club. I was wrong at the top of the show when I said these fellas were underachieving. They're playing 100% plus. They are very well organized, and this Providence team will feed a lot of people in here.
I'm sure Gordon Chiesa's just got to be thrilled to see the continuation of their effort now coming off. They lost to Connecticut, but then they came back and played so well against Georgetown. And now they've played well here in the first half.
And losing a guy like Marty Conlon, the second leading scorer in the club. I mean, here's a guy today. Could you imagine what they'd be doing to have his offensive play in here?
Brooks is now 5 of 7 from the free throw line. It's a 45-38 lead. Delray Brooks has 8 points, 7 points. And we've got an injury on the court. Chris Jeter had come in for UNLV.
Sprained his ankle just running down the court. He doesn't want to come out.
Freshman out of San Diego, number 53.
Fans are booing, but that's good officiating out there. With the players injured, it's a good idea to stop playing. Nobody had an advantage or disadvantage. He's limping, so he can't play.
See the foul trouble graphics. There's a nice play. Anthony Todd gets it. That's the reason Jeter is in. Patio and Vasnite have not played the last 8 minutes. And yet UNLV is within 5.
He's trying to handle Burton, but he's not quick enough for him.
Oh, he traveled. James got it on his hip. Traveled.
Jerry Tarkanian unloaded on a chair on that one. He kicked the chair 2 rows back.
Chair's in bad shape. So's the Tark's coat.
And it had nothing to do with refereeing. That was not a Bobby Knight kick. He was kicking his own player on that one.
That chair to the right has a bandage on it. 12 turnover. Bottom of the corner, short. Foul. Abdul Shamsuddin. His third. Tark is the leading winning percentage coach in the country. 83% wins.
Well, you know, you see John Chaney right there, of course, at Chaney State and now at Temple. Dean Smith, Jimmy Boeheim, John Thompson. It's kind of interesting right there. You've got Thompson and Boeheim of the Big East. Two coaches right here in this very league, so Gordy Chiesa has two guys tough to catch. You know, Tarkanian keeps, it's like a daily battle every game between he and Claire B, not only for the active coaches, but of the all-time winningest coaching percentage in the history of basketball. So that battles back and forth. 1 week, Jerry, every time he loses the game, of course, that really puts him in bad shape because he's got to win something like 26 out of 30 this year to be ahead of him.
That's right.
Not asking much.
Keith James at the line again. He's 2 of 3 for the day, and he gets them both. 45-42. I have the same sense you do. Providence has seemed to have been so dominant, and yet it's only 3 points.
I don't think they're going to wear down because Gordy's been using his bench very well, but I do think that UNLV can make some adjustments on their half-court offense.
Del Rey Brooks.
That shot.
Murdoch traveled.
He traveled because of a great play by James. Went right over his back without making contact. And Dunbar High product was flying on that one.
Coming up, Tim Brand at the half. That's just 57 seconds away. Running Rebels have not led in this game. It was tied once at 2-2.
Cross-court pass.
Time.
That's available all day long.
Has been. You're right.
Throw it right down the pipe.
So with Patio and Basnight on the bench for half the first half, UNLV has stayed with Providence, and they have a chance now to pull within 2 or within 1.
Vern, what that does, if you get the ball down in low like that, it forces the fellas that are playing on the perimeter to turn their heads a little bit and go back, fall back inside, which then allows the three-point shooters to have an opportunity to get a decent shot off instead of rushing everything.
Missed. Yeah, it was a 2-shot foul. Some thought it might have been a 1-and-1. Tim Higgins is our referee today, joined by Pete Pavia and Tom Finken.
Todd was an outstanding player at Lamar, actually made all-Southland Conference, all-conference team. The whistle was blown before the shot. That's not going to count. Transferred to UNLV, only is going to play 1 year there. He's a senior now. If you're Jerry, say, no, I want the shot.
Of course, Providence from the Big East and UNLV from the PCAA. The Big East, this is through last night.
You know, one of the things that I would say about that, Vern, is the fact that, not to take anything away from any of those outstanding leagues, but the value of the competition could have a lot to do with it, with some of those percentages. Now, what Jerry Tarkanian is saying, I want the basket counting, but the official blew that whistle clearly before the shot was taken.
I think there's also the possibility here that a fan has been ejected right behind the basket. Yeah, he was. There was a fan taken out by security people. Now we're back to point 0 again. And Todd makes it a new point by hitting a free throw.
Academic.
7 points for Anthony Todd. His story that Billy was relating is kind of typical of a lot of UNLV players. And Jerry Tarkanian has a couple of kids coming in from San Jacinto Junior College next year, that J.C. Power. There's a turnover.
Opportunity to have this game tied up, or with a three-pointer, an opportunity to go ahead for the first time in the ballgame.
That is the 10th Providence turnover first half. And it's a 45-43 game with 25 seconds to go in the half.
And a very unlikely lineup that Jerry Tarkanian is going to end this with. There's a great jump trap.
Murdoch sets down, Carlton screen, 2 points. Oh, what a dandy play by Eric Murdoch.
That was a great play by Providence. Made the adjustment on the zone and came out and trapped.
And now one more chance for Providence. Tarkanian can't believe the last shot.
They were holding it for the last shot. Providence lulled them to sleep by pretending that they were going to stay back in the zone and then just came right out and trapped. Pretty nice little pass there by Gordy Chiesa.
Yeah, it sure was. 4 seconds to go. Carlton screen. Murdoch. Got it! What a way to end the half.
Vern, Vegas had a chance to go in with the lead, and instead, Providence utilizes the clock beautifully. Murdoch and Screen have cleaned up well in the backcourt again.
That's the end of the first half with our score 49-43 Providence. Tim Brand will return with a college basketball report. After this message and a word from your local station.
Island and the Friars lead the Running Rebels 49-43.
Blocks away, the Civic Arena, the Civic Center in Providence, where the Providence Friars lead UNLV 49-43 at halftime. They have led throughout since jumping out to a 10-2 lead. Free throws, 20 of 24 for Providence and 12 of 22, so there is the difference, Bill.
There really is a difference. As I said, for their wins this year, they shot over 30 free throws, and with that great shooting percentage, you can see if they stay on the line as they did in that first half, they're going to be in control.
Three-point shooting, ineffective for both ball clubs. UNLV 1 of 8 and Providence 1 of 6 from three-point range. Stacey Augmon, the freshman, leading UNLV with 11 points, and Eric Murdoch, the freshman for Providence, with 10 points. And Gordon Chiesa, 37 years of age.
Fine piece there at halftime about him.
That was fun. Providence 5-0 for the year since leading at halftime. They're also 8-1 here at the Civic Arena. They're only, or 3 of their 4 losses have come on the road.
Hey, surprise! Vegas starts out in his zone in the second half.
Now let's check the Providence lineup for you. Delray Brooks and Carlton Screen, Darrell Wright, Shamsuddin, and Eric Murdoch. And for Las Vegas, Keith James, Gerald Patio, and Baz Knight both back in with 3 fouls. Anthony Todd playing the post, and Stacey Augmon. Those are the 10 players on the court.
1-2-2 zone for UNLV.
Screen.
Good job by Augmon to come out realizing Brooks is there, and there's that opening in the middle.
Darrell Wright short with a shot, and the rebound comes down in the hands of Baz Knight.
Now, Vern, let's watch right away to see if UNLV tries to slow things down a little bit and puts a man in the middle. There he is. Todd is standing right in the foul line.
Anthony Todd at the high post.
They're going to be able to get the ball into him, see if he can pass it out of there.
Screen drops back to help just a little bit. There it is. Bounce back to the baseline.
No shot! No shot! Now, that's what I said. If you're up in the stands, or you get the view that we have off our monitor, and you're Jerry Tarkanian, you'd have made that adjustment early on in the first half.
Well, it's really a fascinating point because I don't understand why coaches haven't gone to that.
Well, Jerry doesn't miss much. He didn't win 82% of his games by sitting over there going to sleep.
Baz Knight for 2. He's got 10. 49-45, just underway in the second half. Tipped away by Todd, and then he fouled.
Now there's a case of Todd's judgment. You've got Shamsuddin moving away from the basket. He's going to come back with his left hand because he's left-handed, so why would you rush over there and try to get on the wrong side of him and pick up a cheap foul? Again, getting closer to that one-on-one situation. They just won't give Delray Brooks any room for that three-pointer.
Murdoch is short. Shamsuddin stripped to the ball cleanly. And then Murdoch gets it back for Providence. Darrell Wright. Murdoch. Tip. Darrell Wright. Rebound. Las Vegas.
Chiesa calls Murdoch one of those defensive specialists, but he has a pretty good nose for the ball on offense as well. There it is again in the middle. Oh, well.
And the ball is tipped by Providence. Red ball.
What Todd's got to understand is both Shamsuddin and Steve Wright, when he comes in the game, which will probably be any second now, will play pretty good defense on him. He's got to use the pump fake and get that little pass down inside to a teammate.
Almost stolen by Murdoch. Keith James gets it back. Patio posting up for the, spotting it for the three-pointer. Comes left. There's the alley-oop. Baz Knight off balance. Puts it up anyway. Good judgment by Baz Knight. And he's got 12 to lead all scorers in the game. Darrell Wright. Delray Brooks guarded by Augmon.
UNLV players doing a great job realizing where Delray Brooks is. There's an opportunity for the three, but he had to step out a few feet.
1 of 8 from three-point range now. Patio. That's that was the three. Both teams quite cold here in the opening moments. We played 2.5. Shamsuddin with follow shot out there. first time this afternoon, Nevada, Las Vegas, with some supporters who've made the cross-country trek, has a lead of 50-49. And Gordon Chiesa says timeout. Let's talk about it. A 7-0 run to open the second half has put Tark's team on top.
That was made by Jerry Tarkanian. Puts Todd right on the foul line, sets up in a 1-3-1 type set. What it does, it forces Providence to pinch in on the inside, pull up their defender. We're not going to roll any action, but you can see it really puts a lot of pressure on that 2-3 zone, and that's why Vegas has been able to come back in their half-court offense.
So Jerry Tarkanian's team has scored the only 7 of this half, and they have a lead of 50-49, and another turnover. That's number 12 against Providence in the game. UNLV's Keith James will go to the free throw line. Auburn leading Mississippi State in the second half.
Nice sportsmanship by Wright and James. Going right to the hoop. Wright tried to make a good, clean block. Picked up the foul.
Arizona with that big lead, as you saw, on Illinois over Wisconsin by 5 in the second half. Foul on Darrell Wright. And Keith James will go to the line, number 25.
You know, talking about Arizona, with the Pac-10 down as it is right now, and Arizona being such a high-quality team, what they've got to be careful of is keeping that consistency level going and that intensity level going, because you have a chance to fall into a little slump the rest of the way.
I know you and I had a chance when we got back after dinner last night to watch the last half of the Brigham Young Wyoming game, and what a win for BYU last night.
Well, I was really impressed with Liddell Anderson's club. It's tough to beat Wyoming and Laramie, but the way his club played, it's a very intelligent team. Looks like they can go a long way as well.
52-49. First lead of the game for the Running Rebels of Las Vegas.
And they stay in the zone with a big wingspan.
And a big steal from Stacey Hoffman. 3-on-1. This one works. Gerald Patio.
Now here we're going to tell us to just call the timeout. Doesn't want to have to call another one, but what Vegas has is they've got a very tall team out there. They've got great wingspan, and Providence can't get any passing lane.
11 unanswered points. And Burton can't find it. And here comes UNLV again. They'll pull it up and slow it down now. They have scored 11 in the first 4 minutes of the second half to take a 5-point lead, 54-49. In that Wednesday night win, there was a streak of 18-2 during which Georgetown outscored Providence in the first half. Todd has it stripped, taken away by Carlton Screen. Ogden back to play with 3 fouls, has to lay off.
Good job by Screen. He used the basket to prevent Ogden from coming after him. Todd's got to realize when he gets that ball in the middle, he's either got to shoot it or pass it. He can't stand and hold it or he'll get it stripped again. Patio, 3-pointer.
James. Keith James, beg your pardon. 10 points for Keith James. 57-51.
Now, what this zone has done to Providence, it takes away their ability to penetrate with the dribble, which is the way they were getting open in the first half. Delray Brooks can't find a hole in this zone to get his 3-point shot off. Here he comes out to the top of the key.
He's at NBA range right now. Loses it. 14 turnovers now for Providence. Keith James, 2 more. He's got 12.
What happened to Brooks? He penetrated, leaving the back wide open, and therefore no defensive floor balance, so it made the shot for James easy.
This has been a 16-2 run by UNLV.
Although there's no monster in here, everybody's about 6'7" or more.
That shot hits for 3. Darrell Wright gets it. He's got 10. 11. And it shades the margin to 59-54.
And of course, when you don't score, you can't press.
Way off the glass. Darrell Wright rebound Providence. Delray Brooks 4-on-3. Good move by Screen. Lays it off. Burton for 2. Excellent move by Carlton Screen.
Carlton Screen suffered some very severe injuries last year, but kept coming back. Even the one that he had in the Big East tournament, and came back and played in the NCAA. So he's a gutty performer.
3-point edge for the Running Rebels. 59-56. 13:25 to go in the game. First time these two schools have ever met. Patio with the skip pass. Ogman. goes into Basnight. Nice play.
What Gordy Chiesa has to maybe think about is going to a different defense. The 2-3 has now been solved by Tarkanians. It's got the big hole in the middle, and they put a man in there to plug it. Providence may think about going to the man-to-man. Change up.
Wright's shot is too strong, and Anthony Todd comes down with the rebound.
Brooks sees Patio and says, "You're not getting a three-pointer off on me." Stays right with it.
There's the three. Get up, Jordan. Rebound, Basnight.
Dominating the inside.
Penetration, Patio to Basnight. He'll shoot two. Or maybe just one. See if they call it a shooting foul. We're live from the Civic Center in Providence, Rhode Island. Largest crowd ever to see a basketball game in this facility. 13,100 on hand. They've enjoyed it so far. 12:27 to go in the half. A 6-point lead at the half, 49-43 for Providence. But a 16-2 run early in the second half has given UNLV the lead of 61-56. Keith James off to the right.
Boy, when he misses them, they're nasty looking. I mean, he throws up some of the worst looking bricks. Now, he swished the last one from out there.
And a summary for those of you who just turned in late. 18-7 the run now. 4 players with 3 fouls, however, for the Rebels. Patio leads with 14 points for UNLV. Good entry pass from Delray Brooks. Steve Wright, who has replaced Johnson Dean.
You're on the money with that, Vern. That's just a beautiful pass.
Basnight still has it. Trap. Patio back to Keith James. Well, they stay in that 2-3. Patio again. 17 points for Gerald Patio, playing with 3 fouls.
I say they have to abandon that 2-3 zone.
11:30 to go in the game.
Now to send Delray Brooks through and out to the other side, trying to go ahead and free him up.
Chris Watts is in the lineup for Providence. Watson, Cal Foster has also come in. There's Foster with the ball now. That's good.
Foster, a transfer from Vincennes Junior College. Oh, good steal.
Watts dives it, saves it. Brooks.
Great effort.
That's the first foul on Keith James.
Basnight all the way down underneath the scorer's table. It's just great effort by both clubs right here. They ask no quarter and slide right underneath there. Good hustle. Ball stayed in bounds. Delray Brooks is able to make the great pass inside.
Basnight's up. He's fine. UNLV has a 4-point lead at the 10:59 mark. Jerry Tarkanian's team back on top now by 4. One thinks of them as offensive-minded, but Billy talked with Tark about defense.
That's all. We've always done that. We've always spent most of our time on defense. Our defense generally creates our offense, and you know, a lot of teams see us. We score a lot of points and we give up a lot of points, and you know, sometimes the news media doesn't realize that that we are playing good defense. We think we play real good defense. Our kids believe we do, and so does our coaches.
You know, a compliment to Jerry Tarkanian by Gene Cady. I heard him talking one day. He said, "Someday I'd like to be a coach like Tarkanian." When he was at Long Beach, he was primarily a slow team that played zone. Then he goes to Vegas, and he's an up-tempo team that plays man-to-man. Cady, one of the best coaches in the country, with quite a compliment to Jerry.
Carl James, Stacy Ogden. Basnight's now in the post. They got Patio and Richard Robinson back in the game. Robinson playing with 4 fouls. There's Basnight 3 underneath.
Now, Stacy Ogden really would scare you as an opposing coach when he gets to the top of the key, because he's a good passer, and at 6'8", he can throw right over the defender.
Put back by Foster, too strong. Battle for the loose ball. That's a hell ball, the possession arrow pointing in UNLV's way.
guy that made that play was James on a great strip on the inside. Providence can't get anything to fall on some of these easy shots around the hoop.
Having a very cold second half.
Right, and without Marty Conlon, that's going to be something that could plague them the rest of the year. They just need that big man inside that can score.
Providence 3 of 14 in this half in the field. 3 of 14.
He got fouled on the arm that time.
Delray Brooks comes away with it. Ball and screen, puts up the jumper too much.
That ball's alive. It did not hit.
Did not hit the clock.
Right.
Basnight, timeout, UNLV. CBS Sports coverage of NCAA basketball will continue after this word from your local remaining in the ball game, and UNLV has shot the hot hand here in the second half to explode for a 6-point lead after trailing by 6 at the half. 9:45 remaining in this half. UNLV 10 of 16 for 62%, and Providence 3 out of 17 for 18%.
Well, I'm going to ask Gordy Chiesa after the game if at halftime did he ever discuss the possibility of Vegas going zone, and I bet you it never happened. A great adjustment by Jerry Tarkanian.
Well, I know you were shocked when they came out.
I really was. It threw me off. I knew they'd make the adjustment offensively, but that defensive adjustment's really changed this game around. The other thing that's interesting is why would Tarkanian call that timeout? In my opinion, he wanted to set up a specific play action right here because with a 6-point lead, he wants to spread this lead out and get this. In his mind, he probably figures this could be the key possession of the game right here. He wants to make sure he gets the shot he wants.
On the corner of the patio. Skip pass. James for 3 points. Well, he got it.
Well, I don't know
if that's it.
I don't know if that's it, but he just put his head back and relaxed and moved to know that that was exactly what he was looking for.
And he's got a 9-point edge, having trailed by 11 in the first half. Steve Wright.
Nice drive.
Carl Booby James with the foul. That's his first. Basketball today, football tomorrow. The NFC Championship on CBS. The Vikings against the Redskins. Our coverage begins at 12 o'clock Eastern Time with the NFL Today.
Bert, I didn't mean to be so bold to say that that was the play that he set up because obviously, you know, a 3-pointer and a cross-court pass wouldn't be it. But I think what he did was to set up a philosophy there. Hey, guys, we got a chance to move this game on out now. I don't want any wild plays. I want solid offense. Probably a pretty good foul for him here, right here, too, to put Steve Wright, the only man that's not a good free-throw shooter, on the line.
Wright for the season hitting at 58%.
The reason he does not start in games is he feels he can watch the other team and gets a better feel of what the adjustments are made on the press. He says he can see it better from the bench for the first minute.
Said he always sits it down for at least 3 minutes. Wright, foul. Thought he had the clean block, didn't get it.
Boy, that was your best stuff on offense going against your best stuff on defense. Wright was right there. Ogden made a good move on the baseline.
He becomes the first Providence flyer with 4 fouls.
Terrific drive.
Substitution now. Abdul Shamsuddin comes into the lineup. Had that great start today. He's got 9 points already with a season average of 1.5, and Wright goes to the bench. Wright leaves with 6 points.
Stacey Augmon was the California 4A Player of the Year. Sat out last year. And he'll be one of the unusual guys that'll play 4 years for Jerry Tarkanian, probably in the starting lineup like a Freddie Banks type. And this guy's going to be quite a player. And this is what he doesn't do too well, is shoot free throws. Look at the touch.
Well, in addition to everything else, Stacey Augmon has 8 assists and 8 rebounds today, so he's got quite an afternoon. Oh, boy.
You almost want to turn him around to a right-handed shooter. I mean, that technique's got so much you want to break down. Delray cannot get open for a 3-point shot.
Screen will take one. No, it's a 2-point. At any rate, it's not good.
One of the things that Providence could do is get Delray Brooks away from the side that Stacey Augmon's on because he's really shielding him well over there.
Basnight into the corner. Carl James has it deflected deflected by 12 and screen. And they'll reset the offense. Carl James, three-pointer again. 9 points now for Boogie James. And a 72-61 lead. Another turnover. Oh, what a pass. Austin with a great pass. Oh, was that beautiful.
Right off the dribble, Vern, right in front. We had the perfect angle, just a great play, and Gordy's got to go to another timeout.
Left-handed off the dribble. It's worth another look, Billy.
Defender in the way. He goes right around, sits down so he can get the bounce pass to come up soft. Excellent play.
And a 13-point UNLV lead. There are a few coaches in the country more controversial than Jerry Tarkanian, and yet the man really can coach, Bill. We've seen that today.
No question about it, and I think it's you misjudge him because of the running rubs, because of Las Vegas itself, and I really never understood what kind of coach he was till 1977 when I saw him in the Final Four and went to their practices and realized what a great fundamental teacher that he is. So he has his due among coaches, and I think it's a matter of time that the fans understand it as well.
There's a block and pass right, and he saves the ball. Dandy play. Delray Brooks harassing him from behind. UNLV has outscored Providence 31-12 in this game. Plus 19. And they're up by 13 at 74-61.
And what happens? They go a little man on him.
That shot is short. Shamsuddin comes down with it. Murdoch lays it off. Arrow right off the glass.
And when you're not scoring, again, as I said in that first half, the big advantage Providence had, they made a lot of free throws so they could set their press up. Now they're not getting any field goals, so they can't get in it.
Time clock. Well, they beat it. Boogie James will shoot a couple. Near the conclusion of today's game, Billy Packer and I will select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevrolet donates a $1,000 scholarship to the general scholarship fund of each school. Substitutions now again for Providence. Steve Wright will come back in, bearing the brunt of those 4 fouls. Shamsuddin will sit down. That's his score.
You know, with James going on to the line, one of the things that Tarkanian did yesterday worked endlessly against trying to beat the press. Jerry has really been blessed. He had Mark Wade, and then, of course, he had his son, Danny. And with those two great guards, Mark Wade still holding the NCAA all-time record for assists. Basically, against the press, he could say, you guys get out of the way. They'll get it up the court. Without that type of ball handler, now it's more structured for the team to get the ball up the court against the press.
It's one of the things he's missing this year with the graduation with the loss of 4 starters from a year ago. The other is the dominant center where Armand Gilliam was such a great player a year ago. 75-63 now, 12-point margin.
Vegas goes man-to-man. During that timeout, of course, figuring Gordy's going to try to set some kind of a setup for the zone, he changes defenses on him.
Steve Wright, nice strong move.
But you know what? They were playing the zone so well, I don't know if you won't see him go back to it because man-to-man, Providence takes him. Providence does a great job feeding the post with bounce passes. The old Dr. Tom Davis, now at Iowa, loved that bounce pass at Boston College. Then Gary Williams brought it here. And there you see Gordy using it. Great way to get it in there.
Steve Wright with 8 points and a chance to cut the margin to single digits. It's 65-75 right now. Got it. 9 for Wright. Steal. Delray Brooks, 3-pointer. No. Providence ball.
Todd cannot be responsible for throwing the ball in bounds. Now, Jerry told me yesterday, oh, he can handle it. I hate to argue with a guy that's 182% of his team, but he's not responsible in that.
Fast Knight almost loses it. Augman comes out. Nice move.
He's a talent, isn't he?
He sure is. Stacey Augman with 13 points. Darrell Wright, 3-pointer. Nope. Looked a little hasty on that, and an offensive foul. Darrell Wright charging in. Arizona wins again. They defeat Oregon 70-54, so only 1 loss for the Wildcats. Olsen. 6:05 remaining in the ball game. 77-66. That man's team on top.
One of the most emotional stories we report.
6:05 remaining. Let's go to Tim Brandt.
Vern, one of the most emotional stories we reported on at CBS last year was about UNLV cheerleader Valerie Pita. She entered City of Hope Medical Center for a bone transplant, hopefully to remove Hodgkin's disease from her body. And we're happy to say Valerie is back, and it's great to see you.
Thank you. It's really great to be here. I look forward to this day. I really did. I'd like to thank everyone out there for all your support.
You feel strong?
I feel very strong, and we're winning, and it's exciting.
All right, Valerie, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, Vernon, the prognosis is good. She was the homecoming queen. She's re-enrolled in school. She's cheering for UNLV.
That's terrific news, Timmy. Thank you very much. 6:02 to go in the ball game. Another steal for Providence.
That was a case where it was a set play, Vern, to go long, but there wasn't anything there. So, again, a judgment call. UNLV dodged the bullet on that one.
77-66. Elbow, Baz Knight. That's 4.
And that really hurts UNLV because, to me, he's their most solid, big front court ball handler. And although that was a quick exchange, it looks like Providence thinking about going man-to-man. Let's see if Vegas goes back to their zone. I think it'd be wise. And they are.
Yep.
They went man-to-man, and Providence burned them.
UNLV 5 of 9 from three-point range in this half. And that, as much as the defensive change, has been a big difference.
They'll raise open. They don't get him the ball on the swing.
A little slow with the ball rotation that time. Shot too strong. Saved by Carlton. Screen. Penetrates, dishes back to Brooks for the three-pointer. Pumps once and takes it. Got it.
Looked like a replay of the Georgetown game. Pump fake, get the defender by.
Almost stolen. 77-69. 5 minutes to go.
A lot of time in this ball game. Could be close to 10.
Osman again. Terrific body control.
He is one of the smoothest inside players I've seen.
Baz Knight.
Oh, he tipped it, and the referee didn't see it. That should be Providence ball.
Baz Knight tipped it, came flying by us, grimacing because he knew he had tipped it.
Yeah, he did tip the ball.
Take a look at it again. And now Tim Higgins has overruled Pete Pavia.
There's no question that Jarvis Baz Knight hit the ball with his left hand coming out.
Tarkanian up and staring at Tim Higgins. The referee overruled Pete Pavia.
Well, that was good officiating. You're trying to get it right.
You bet. 10-point margin, 4:34 to go in the game.
Great rebound by Patio.
UNLV trying to go 14-1. Their only loss at home to UC Santa Barbara. Pretty good outfit from Zumba.
Certainly is.
Patio, 3 points. Rebound, Steve Wright. Darrell Wright. Out of control. Puts it up anyway, and Patio gets the rebound.
Trying to come back too quick.
Blind pass, right side to Baz Knight. Booby James got it. Dandy for you today, and more great basketball next Saturday on CBS. Doubleheader tips it off. Pitt versus Oklahoma. Some of you will see Kentucky versus LSU. That's at 2 o'clock Eastern time. And then all of you will watch Purdue versus Louisville in the second game. Louisville won today. And then on Sunday, Big East encounter from the Carrier Dome. Georgetown goes up to Syracuse to take on Ronnie Cycli and the Syracuse Orangemen. Perry McDonald, the senior starter for Georgetown, will lead them into that game.
Vern, we've got a team today in Vegas that has over 6 games this year, over 100. You talked about Pitt, Oklahoma. Oklahoma now averaging right under 115 a game, and the 100 is a big number for you today, huh?
Well, in the family, my grandmother, Edla Lundquist, my dad's mother, turns 100 years old today. So terrific. Happy birthday. I'll be in Lynchburg, Kansas tomorrow for the celebration.
Well, we wish her well in another 100.
Missed the free throw.
Got to use some clock now if you're Vegas. And of course, if you're Providence, you don't have to rush that much. Just down 12. There's still a lot of time on his clock to work into the offense. Use that three-point play.
This will be Providence the inbound. Auburn leading and North Carolina State on top. So also with Memphis State by 3 over Tulsa. Check the lineups now. Providence has Burton, Steve Wright, Chris Watts back in the lineup with Screen and Delray Brooks. Screen, back to Watts.
And again, remember, Vern, you've got that PCAA team potentially winning on a Big East floor.
And that affects all the winning teams in the PCAA who have aspirations in the NCAA tournament. See Delray look down and see if he's behind the three-point line.
They're getting a little bit too much aware of it right now, and they need to stay in their regular offense. You see Gordy Chiesa tell them, get back into the passing game, get moving against that zone.
Boy, has that zone been effective. That's the 3. Chris Watts.
Nice piece of coaching by Chiesa.
5 points for Watts. Foul, Delray Brooks. Memphis State defeats Tulsa 54-47. We have 3 minutes remaining in our game. And the 4th personal foul on Delray Brooks. UNLV has been one of the stronger teams out west for the last 5 or 6 years. How about these other teams? Arizona, UTEP, New Mexico, BYU.
I think the West is going to be able to represent itself this year in the NCAA tournament. They won't have to be shifting everybody out there. There's an awful lot of teams out there very capable of playing on the national scene.
Well, the WAC has really come back this year. Western Athletic Conference. Don't see that many Pac-10 teams in the West, though. Baz Knight now has 17 points.
It may have a singular representative if somebody doesn't start playing well in the NCAA tournament. But that one may take them all the way to the championship.
Yes. You and I have talked about it again, but what a great thing it is to see Steve Kerr back in the Arizona team. There's the follow from Steve Wright.
Good outlet.
Patio. 3 on 1. Patio takes it all the way. Too strong. Follow again. Good.
Well, everybody is going to the boards for Providence. That means there's nobody back for defensive balance, so Vegas is going to be able to get that break.
Darrell Wright. Oh, they can't get anything to fall. And another rebound and an elbow throw.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Anthony Todd called for the foul. Tarkanian disagrees as well. That's 3 on Anthony Todd. Crowd of 13,100 gathered this afternoon in the frigid environs of Providence, Rhode Island, here at the Providence Civic Center. UNLV fell behind 16-7, and they trailed for half 49-43, but they used a 16-2 run to open the second half to take the lead for the first time, and they're up 85-72 now with 2.5 remaining.
Vern, this is one of those games when a coach goes back over the course of the year, watches the tapes. This is where a coach really won a ball game. The adjustments that Jerry Tarkanian has made in this game, and not being so proud to say, you know what, our man-to-man is good, and that's our basic defense, but we can't stop them, so we're going to go to something else. And it's not often that Vegas is not capable of handling somebody man-to-man, but they couldn't take Providence with that defense today.
That, Billy, and the offensive change when they put Todd on the high post to open.
That's right. Now they're going to a little delay game, trying to use some clock. Todd fancies himself quite a ball handler.
And you don't.
No, I think he should be buried down on the post somewhere. He will eventually throw one away if he handles it too much. Here he comes. Look at him out.
Put it on the floor, huh?
Yep. Loses his dribble.
9 on the shot clock. Stolen by Darrell Wright. Red ball.
The referee's pretty good.
Quentin Burton back into the lineup now for Providence. And still only 5 seconds left in the shot clock for Nevada, Las Vegas. Steve Wright heads out of the game. Leaves with 4 fouls and 9 points. Good pass.
Great
nice steal. Carlson screen, but then UNLV gets it right back just as the shot clock goes. And And that ought to do it. 87-72, 128 to go.
Stacey Ogden has soft hands. Boy, he just catches anything that goes around him.
Oh, what an impressive.
There he goes again.
Here's Ogden again.
Good teamwork.
Keith James.
Impressive second half by UNLV.
I have a feeling you might like Stacey Ogden for our Chevy player of the game.
Yeah, I really do.
From the corner, Patio. UNLV will be 14-1. They go to Logan, Utah Tuesday night to take on Utah State. This game all but wrapped up for the Running Rebels, and tomorrow we've got football for you. The NFC Championship, Minnesota against the Redskins. Our coverage begins at 12 Eastern.
And what does this performance tell you about UC Santa Barbara? They beat the Rebels on their own court.
In Las Vegas,
That's
for
right.
16,000.
You know, when Jerry was the coach at Long Beach State, he played 65 home games in his career there as a coach. Won 65. They're 65-0 at home. I mean, now I'm not going to make any insinuation about the referees, but 65-0 is strong, isn't it? Yeah, you know, my old buddy Al McGuire played him once down there, and Al said that's a good team to schedule after they have selected the NCAA tournament pairings. So what Al would do is schedule them on the Sunday when the pairings were already out, because he said that loss wouldn't hurt me, and he already counted as a loss.
Well, you hear about Magic Johnson's triple-doubles all the time in the NBA. How about Stacey Ogden? 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 19 points.
And a deflection right there.
Yeah. Got a couple of steals to toss in there, too. And he is a freshman from Pasadena, California. Final minute, 48 seconds, as a matter of fact, 91-72. Delray Brooks.
Delray Brooks got to figure that Vegas has had 6 men on that defense. He hadn't been able to get open. Here's Patio giving a little forearm.
Baz Knight way up for the rebound.
I like Baz Knight as a ball handler for a big man.
Baz Knight has 13 rebounds in this game. And he sat out about half of the first half with 3 fouls. Final 12 seconds. And the Running Rebels of Nevada, Las Vegas go to 14-1.
And how about Rod Strickland this afternoon comes back and gives DePaul a game.
Got out of the doghouse and had an excellent day with 28 points. Clemson wins, or rather, yes, and Iowa State won big. UCLA fell to Louisville. Nebraska has Missouri's having some trouble.
Yeah, they are. They just can't get on track. And that Auburn team, Sonny Smith is just doing a great job with that ball club. Kind of an interesting game, NC State, though.
Illinois wins over Wisconsin. Lou Henson's team. There's a steal by Patio. Have one more shot in the ballgame. Little dipsy-do. And they win by 20. UNLV down by 6 at the half. Surges to a 92-72 win. For the season with a strong second half and a 20-point victory, our Chevrolet players of the game are Stacey Ogden, the freshman for UNLV, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 2 steals. And Eric Murdoch, the freshman backcourt man from Providence College, 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. A check in the amount of $1,000 to be donated to each school's general scholarship fund to further assist qualified students in all chosen academic fields. Once again, the final score, UNLV 92 and Providence 72. NCAA basketball has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the NCAA championship.